What's up, y'all? So it's time to turn it around. Again, this is Mike Mcdaniels here, and I wanted to come to you guys, and I wanted to break through some of these diet, let's call them diet issues, fitness issues, and just literally help you guys create a healthy lifestyle that's easy, simple to live, and it's not complicated, and you don't have to pull your hair every morning to make it happen, make it a reality. So let's dive in and let's see what we can do with this. So the good news that I have for everyone here watching this is anybody can lose weight. Everybody has the ability to take action on their diet, meaning it doesn't matter if you know you're 250 pounds or you're 300 pounds right now. Everybody right now has the ability to take action on their diet, meaning you choose what you buy at Publix, you choose what you buy at Walmart, you choose what you eat when you go out to eat, you choose what you snack on during the day, right? So your choice gives you that ability, but you have to understand that you have the ability and you have the choice. You have to be able to make the right choices. So anyone can engage in some sort of physical activity, okay? And that's the same as the diet, okay? You can take action on your activity, but you have to take action, okay? Second part of this is going to be the determination, okay? What are your goals? What are you looking to accomplish? What about your body do you want to change? Okay, just take a second and just identify these, okay? Identify what you're looking to change. What's going to drive you? Go ahead, identify them, because as we get through this course, I know some of this stuff starting off, you're like, oh, this is kind of slow. This is, I can do this myself. But what we're going to do is really break it into a mindset, and we're going to turn this struggle that you have into a mindset that's easy to follow, and which will allow you to be able to turn this into a daily, routine, to where in 2-3 months from now, 90 days from now, you're going to see a huge change in your body. So go ahead and identify those, guys. I'm going to move forward a little bit. So understanding what's holding you back. So we went into this a little bit, with our goals and whatnot, but now we want to figure out what, without identifying what's keeping you back, right? All right, so now we want to understand what's actually holding you back, okay? So I want you to identify what's keeping you from your goals and understanding what's holding you back. All right, we all know this as we went into a little bit before, with our goals a second ago. But without actually identifying what's keeping you from your goals, you'll never get to your goals. So what I mean by this is I'll set a goal. Let's say I'm, 180 pounds. I want to drop down to, 165. I want to tone up and everything. But in the process of getting to those goals, what if that's going to take me, let's say it's going to take me realistically 2.5 months to get me to that goal, right? But the difference in the time that it's going to take me is actually what's going on in that time, if that makes sense. So one person, they may be able to drop that weight in 10 days. The other person may do it in 3 months. But what's really happening to prolong, it's not to say this person's better than this person at losing weight. It's what's actually holding them back, and that's going back down into their diet, if that makes sense to you guys. So diet, the activities, the workouts, what you're doing. So you have to know how to diet, right? You have to know, what to do when you go to the gym. You can have your personal trainer and whatever, but most importantly, you have to have that motivation and that drive inside yourself to want to get that healthy lifestyle, to want to do activities that are more fit prone activities, instead of using your weekend to chill on the couch or go get drunk with people, right? Or go do something that's pushing you back, is what I'm saying. So we want to identify the things that are holding us back, okay? So what are you doing on every night when you get home? What's the first thing you do? Do you pick up a drink of alcohol? If you do that, then obviously you're not going to make it to the gym, right? Because you're going to drink the one, you're going to be like, you know what? I'm going to have another. After you have two, it's over, right? That's how I've always been. Even when if I ever have a drink and I don't want to make it a habit that night, if I have more than one drink, I'm done, right? You automatically go into that subconscious mindset and you're like, yeah, I'll work out tomorrow, right? So identify what's keeping you back, guys, and that way we can focus on them as we get further into this course. So let's move ahead a little bit. Is your schedule getting in the way? Can't find time? Okay, you got to figure it out, guys. Everybody has time to fit in a workout. I even have workouts that are 15-minute workouts for this simple reason. Okay, you have time to go to the gym. You have time. You can make time. What hours are you working? You know, what hours do you have that you can fit in? There is time that you can fit in your gym time. And if you don't have time to put in your gym time, there's things that you're doing with your time that are most likely, unless you're working, 120 hours, you work some crazy job or something, um, in which cases you should do the 15-minute workout when you first wake up. Wake up 15 minutes early, knock out the 15-minute workout, do your stretch, and then get ready. You have time in your schedule. Do not make this an excuse, okay? Moving down. Don't know what to do when you get to the gym. I'm about to give you guys a ton of free workouts. You're always going to have workouts from me. There's workout plans all over the internet. There's so many different workout plans. There's gyms that have workout plans. But most importantly, we want to get you to really know what to do when you go to the gym. So I'm going to break it down a little bit further as we get through the course. In the next segment of videos, I'm actually going to go into more technique stuff. We're going to be inside the gym, going over techniques and things like that. So stay tuned for that. And then the bottom is not exactly sure what is a healthy diet. What's healthy in today's world? Today's world is complicated. Do you agree? You have Starbucks is popping up. You have McDonald's popping up everywhere. McDonald's advertises they have more healthier diets, right? They have less calories in their food. Everyone now you see calories, right? That's the new market for restaurants, right? In places, calories. It has this much calories in it. You're good. What about all the sugars it has in there, the salts? What does it really have in the food is what really we don't see in today's world, right? And people don't want to go. You have the crowds that don't go to organic stores because the prices are so high, right? And not that you have to eat organic, but there's things that you guys really need to know that the diet. As we move forward, we're going to really go into this, but you know the best way that I can tell you is to keep following me so I can guide you guys on what to eat, healthy alternatives. As we get further in this, we're going to do like a cooking guide where literally I take you guys, we use the meal plan that I'm giving you, and we actually put it into a live approach. We go to the grocery store, we shop, we come back to the house, we prep everything, we get our meals prepped 2 days a week so we have our food for the whole week. So being not exactly sure what to eat in this world is going to come back to a lot of not eating out. Okay, I know there's a bunch of different definitions of how we could identify this question right here, and this whole statement. But the main thing that people have issues with is going out to eat and not knowing really what to eat when they go grocery shopping. So we want to kind of identify both of those. Of course, you're going to get stuck eating out, so we're going to have to go over what to eat when you do go out to eat, so you guys understand a little bit more of how the diet works. You're not just checking out your calories, though those that are important. You're looking for the things that are not so high in sugars, not so high in salts, and that's what we want to keep you guys from. So next step of this, we're going to go into identify what's holding you back during the days. Okay, so what are you eating? Let's get more detailed in this. What did you eat yesterday? I know this slide is similar to the slide we just did, the one over here that's understanding what's holding you back, but now it's time to identify really. So I need you guys to go ahead and write down what you ate yesterday. Okay, you woke up, what'd you eat for breakfast? Okay, what'd you eat for a mid-morning snack? What'd you eat for lunch? What'd you eat for your afternoon snack? What'd you eat for dinner? What was your late night snack? Did you have a late night snack? Write it down, because when we go in, we're gonna move into this more, and this is more of a goal driven course here. We're actually gonna break down everything so you guys understand it more. And as we get into the workouts and actually applying the diets, knowing what we know in these smaller courses that we have here, these educational videos, is really gonna help you guys progress a lot faster because you're gonna understand it more. So, question number 2 is, how many days have you been to the gym? Okay, how many days this week did you go to the gym? Don't lie to yourself. If it's the beginning of the week that you're watching this video right now, just think about last week. How many days a week do you go to the gym last week? If you were on vacation last week, dude, I'm just looking for you to be honest right now. I want you to be honest. How many days do you go to the gym on a regular basis? Write it down. What are you doing when you go to the gym? Okay? You do powerlifting, weights the whole time? Do you do cardio? Do you stretch, warm up? What do you do? Okay? Change it up a lot. Do the same routines. Do some routines you saw online. What do you do? Okay. Is stress getting in the way? Lack of motivation. Okay. What are some things that you're stressing about? I know you guys don't want to bring this up, and I don't want to bring up stress and problems in your life and then have you guys start thinking backwards, but I want you to bring it up so we can get it out of the way. Here in a minute, we're going to start chopping all the things that are attaching you to stress and pulling you to stress. We're going to start just chopping those cords that are holding you to it, and those ties. We're just going to chop them off here in a second. You're not going to worry about them anymore. So you got to identify them first, though. So write them down. And then number 5, maybe health problems, genes that are keeping you bigger than you like to be. So maybe you have, a thyroid problem, or, I've dealt with clients that have thyroid problems that really, they really hustle and they work really hard, but, it's holding them back. But is it really holding them back, the thyroid problem, or is their foods really holding them back? Because though thyroid problem can be really tremendous, sometimes what you're eating is holding you back even more than that problem. So we're going to move into that even further, and I'm going to help you guys who are having that issue, having health problems that are medications or something that, may be holding you guys back. We're going to get into how you can actually break through on levels for those. So keep moving forward. You got those down. Now, I have to get a little bit harsh here with you guys, okay? If you're overweight right now, if you're not where you want to be right now, I personally, doing this video, went through this right here that I'm about to present to you guys about 2 weeks ago. So I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm in the progress mode where every day that I wake up, I'm like, I look at my goals, I have them written down on a piece of paper. It's nothing special. It's not a fancy piece of paper. I didn't type them out or anything crazy. I have it scribbled down really on a little piece of paper. And I just slightly look at my goals and I read them to myself a couple times. And I have this little line right here. And I have a couple other things that I speak out loud to myself too. It's kind of like a ritual that I do for business as well. And it gets me, it gets me fired up in the mornings. It gets me fired up to think about where I'm going. Okay, people get stopped in motivation. You get stopped in creating your dreams and, seeing the reality of your dreams. We all want our dreams, but imagine the reality of your dreams. Imagine you're in the best shape of your life and you're making income and you're traveling the world and you're doing all this stuff. Imagine the reality of it. Okay, and then look at the reality that you're at right now. Do you think you're working harder now by not stepping up and not pushing forward than you are if your reality was already there? And the truth is that it's easier once you get your body going, right? It's easier for me once I'm 60 days in. Now I got the ball rolling, right? I'm moving forward. But it's the same thing that happens, and it all happens in this 90-day phase that really shocks, I try to get clients always on a 90-day commitment, because if you make it through 90 days, you've made it a habit. I don't care what they said about the 5-day habit. You made it a habit in 5 days, bullshit. Okay, 90 days, you really want it. If you're pushing 90 days, you really want it. You've made a change. You've made a fucking shift that is going to carry you for the rest of your life, whether it's in business, Whether it's in your work, whether it's in the fitness, whether it's in your diet, everything, it plays the same thing. If you play the roles for 90 days and you stick it out and you push in every 90 days, in these 90 days, you're not looking at getting your goal in one day, right? These 90 days, you're going to understand that the 90 days are progress. It's 90 days of progress. In these 90 days, you're going to try to learn as much as you can, consume as much content as you can. You're going to try to get to the gym as much as possible. You're going to try to schedule activities that are healthy, that are fitness related or physical related, or that get you out of the house, get you out of the state where you're not progressing. Okay, we're moving you into progressive. So I want you to think about where you were at yesterday. Okay, you're waking up and you're ensuring yourself to stay unhealthy and unfit. Why are you doing this? Because you're not taking action. You're not seeing it. Hopefully after this course, it's going to be so clear that you're like, you wake up and you're like, I'm going to progress today. I'm going to make progress. Guess what? My stomach ain't where I want it to be, but hey, it's not going to happen in a day. If I think it's going to happen in a day, I'm always going to be depressed, right? I'm always going to be pissed at myself. I'm never going to push forward. It's never going to happen in a day. I'm going to tell you right now. So you can cry, go get pissed, punch the wall, go crazy for like 10 seconds or whatever you have to do to get unpissed about the fact that it's not going to happen overnight. So the only real option you have is to do this commitment for 90 days. Give yourself that. Give yourself this commitment to make sure every day you wake up and you take control. And I want you guys to go ahead and speak this out loud 10 times. Okay? And speaking this out loud and 10 times is going to get your mind in that state. Okay? It's going to allow you to take over. It's going to allow the negative thoughts that you're thinking in the back of your mind about oh my God, the kitchen's not clean and how am I going to be healthy? I have to go to work and all these things. Stop them. Just stop. And start speaking right now out loud. I am the result of my health and I can get in shape. What I eat and how I keep my body up to par is determined by me. While guidance personal trainers can assist me, I am the only determining factor. Okay? Like I said, I have this. I speak this over and over to myself. And every time I speak it over and over to myself, I start to get that vision. You know how you guys get in that in fire mode? You're at the gym or you're at work or you're doing something and you get in the motion where you're just rocking, right? You're in fire right now. This is actually what gets you on fire. And it's not just, this is not something that I made up by any means. You can even check it out. I think I actually took this from Tony Robbins and revamped it in my own way, right? It's called I forgot what he calls it, but it's different type of thing. But this is the same thing, guys. It gets you guys in state. It gets you guys thinking the correct way, and it gets you guys focused on progress. Okay, it gets you in the mindset to turn it up. So let's turn it up and let's keep moving forward. And let's get that mental breakthrough. Okay. For now, your job isn't to go to the gym and dread it. Okay. As a part of your lifestyle, fitness, diet, nutrition, and all that is something that you're now going to be obsessed with. Okay. And you're going to be obsessed in these 90 days of transforming your life. Every day is a new step forward, okay? I tell people who are learning business all the time, you're not going to create your business that you want in 10 days. You're not going to do it in 30 days. But you can do a bunch of it in 90 days. You can get everything going in 90 days, right? You can totally turn things around in 90 days, right? No matter where you are in weight, I don't give a shit if you're 500 pounds. In 90 days, if you commit to your new lifestyle, this new lifestyle that you're now in. You've already made it this far, dude. You've already got this far. You've took the steps. You've already surpassed 200,000 people, right? 200,000 people didn't do the steps you've already took. You've already made it through 10, 15 minutes. I don't know where we're at in this thing, but you get what I'm saying? You've already made it this far. You're going the full 90 days. I'm not going to let you quit now, okay? So be obsessed with your lifestyle and changing who you are. We're going to change this thing so freaking hard that after 90 days, I'm not even going to have to motivate you anymore. You're going to be rocking. So, the bottom part, again, I know it will not happen overnight, but each day I will become better in my diet and at the gym. Okay? Moving forward, guys, I think you got the breakthrough. I think we're ready to kill it. Now, I want to go into some things that I want you guys to drop when you go to the scale, okay? Forget the scale. I said that wrong. I said forgot when you went to the gym. So, forget the scale, guys. You people who go to the gym and get on the scale every day, stop going on the fucking scale. Okay? Get off the scale. Stop. Those of you who come in the gym, and trust me, like I said, I've been a trainer for 6 years. I've had done probably 50% of the clients do this. They come in there, they go, and first thing they do is they drop their stuff and go step on the scale. Why do you do it? It's stupid, right? It's either going to tell you something good or something bad. And most likely, the number you get on the scale you don't even know what it means. You have no idea what that number even means. Dude, you really don't know what the number even means. But instead, you have about that 50-50 shot of stepping on the scale. And then when you step on the scale, now you're either going to be satisfied or dissatisfied. Now that 50% doesn't seem like a lot in one day, right? Not a big deal if you step on the scale one day and you're like, and it kind of throws off your workout a little bit. It throws off your motivation, right? It gets you out of being on point. You know, you were all inspired until you went in there and stepped on the scale, and now you dropped your confidence. But on one day, it's not a big deal. But let's say a client, 10% of the month, the client's going to get that bad state immediately from getting a bad reading on their scale. 10% of the month, okay? Let's just say, let's call it 3 workouts out of the month. Times 12 for the entire year. You see what that does in a large scale? It affects you so much. So I try to tell clients, don't even look at the scale. The scale is not even important. What we want to do when we first get you in and when you first start going to the gym, you know, if you're not, like I said, if you're not around me, if you can't get access to me, we need to get your body fat done somewhere. So you can go into any training facility, anything, and just basically ask them if they have the body fat calipers. You want to get your body fat percentage, okay? And this is where everything comes into play, okay? Because, for example, like I have here, if a client weighs 175 pounds, right, and their body fat is 24%, then that client's going to have 42 pounds of fat on he or she's body, right? Now, I'm going to grab my calculator because I'm not really good at math. But let's do the math, and let's say in a week, that client now weighs 174 pounds, okay? So that person just worked out all week. All week they busted their ass, and then Friday comes around, or let's say it's their weekend workout. Let's say it's the weekend workout. They go to the gym, they step on the scale on the weekend, it's 174 pounds, and they're like, immediately, dude, I've been fucking killing it all week, and I've only lost 1 pound. This is what clients say. I'm not even kidding you. Even, like, I've been shocked at clients and what their first, like, responses and actions and languages immediately when they step off the scale, and let me tell you, it's not nice, okay? It's crazy. It's even some of the clients that I'm like, ooh, like, they're mad. You know, it's just totally, like, ruined their day because they lost 1 pound. But here's the thing. What they don't know and what they won't know, because unless they have their body fat caliper there, is what happened to the body fat percent. So let's say that this client, I'm giving you guys a live example of actually a client that this happened to me not too long ago, actually. So I decided to bring this up. Okay. The client actually lost 3% body fat in that week. The client was killing it. Okay. That client lost 3% body fat, so they were now 21% body fat, okay? Which puts now 36 pounds of fat on their body. So what happened, though? They didn't see that, did they? What the client saw was 1 pound of fat lost. But truly, what really happened, because that before the client was 175 at 24% body fat, they had 42 pounds of fat on their body. After I did the numbers over here, 174, and now that person has 21% body fat after a week. it was about 7 days. That person now has 36 pounds of fat on their body. Okay? So from 42 to 36, that's 6 pounds of fat that has dropped at that client's body. That's crazy, right? So now you're like, okay, well, what happened to the weight? So maybe the client put on some lean muscle or added a pound or two of water weight on, okay? But they've started to pull the body fat off. And this is really where the breakthrough is going to happen in the gym is you guys want to be focused on putting lean muscle on your body and taking fat off of your body. And the more lean muscle that we put on your body, the easier it's going to be for us to strip away that body fat and get the body fat away from the areas that you can't stand it, okay? So the scale, the number that the scale says is not the important number. I know a lot of people are misled, and I hate it. I always grab clients when they step on the scale, like, what are you doing? Get off the scale. You don't go on the scale. Because for that reason, because you get so uninspired instantly by a number that doesn't even matter. You can't even see what the real number is. So I like clients to, we're going to step on the scale after you feel a breakthrough. So if I have a client who starts with me, we do it in the beginning. Okay, I tell that client we're going to kick ass for the next couple weeks. Okay, and if you're on your own right now and you're going to follow me and do all my workouts, kick ass for a couple weeks. Kick ass in your diet. Follow me. Get educated. Make an entire breakthrough into where 2 or 3 weeks from now you're like, wow, I've made a huge change. I feel like totally different, right? You have so much more energy. That is the time when you go get on the scale and you go get your body fat. That's your reward. Because what happens when you see the number? You instantly start to smile. Then you already know your body's changing. And then when you see the body fat percentage really drop and how much fat you're stripping off your body, guess what that does? That's more inspiration, and that helps you move forward. Remember, everything we do, we push forward. Okay? So, going forward, guys, some of the most common unseen mistakes. Okay? Now, we're going to move a little bit more into diet for this. And I know you guys heard people say, eat small meals throughout the day and whatnot, but I want to stress that this is the true game changer. Okay? And it's going to lead me to this actually number 2 and number 3 here. Skipping breakfast because that teaches your body to store fat and burn less calories, right? And then not eating enough meals, again, same as above. While at the same time, you may notice a drop in energy. So, the big mistake here, guys, is eating 3 meals a day or most likely skipping breakfast, eating semi-healthy during lunch, and then making a feast for dinner, right? This is like the typical, the typical person's thing. Or we wake up and we have cereals, or we have something that's really high in sugar, for breakfast. That's, the typical American, diet. That's like, that's how I was raised too. We woke up, we had cereal, had some sort of lunch, came home, had some type of canned food for like just to hold me over, like a SpaghettiOs or something. I remember this as growing up as a kid, right? And then at night we would have a huge meal, most likely with some pasta and some spaghetti or something chunky in it. And then I would have, some ice cream to, make up for my whole day, say how awesome the day was. I need something sweet. But unfortunately, all of these that we were taught, every one of them move you backwards. And being as diet is 80% of it, that plays an entirely huge role in losing the body fat. So what we want to do, guys, is we want to get to where you're waking up and you're eating breakfast. And I know this is a challenge, and it was a challenge for me too at some points to wake up and actually indulge in something healthy, or actually have to cook something healthy, right? It's like a pain in the ass. It's easy to do cereal, right? I can go make cereal. Cereal's awesome. Tastes really good and stuff, but loaded in sugars, right? So I probably shouldn't do that, but we don't want to miss breakfast, because we know when we miss breakfast, we don't feel hungry throughout the day, right? But some of you may even, I feel like this now once I've got my body on track. If I don't eat, I feel almost sick to my stomach, okay? But what happens when you don't eat is you actually, your immune system never kickstarts, right? And you actually teach your body to start burning, or not burning at all. You teach your body to actually store the fat, and you start to burn less calories because your metabolism's not going. Your body's not properly going, right? So what we want to do is we want to get some type of breakfast in play here that you guys can definitely implement every single day. So whatever this is, maybe it's a shake. Maybe you're gonna, we'll do our prep meals and whatnot, and we prep our meals first, but you have to eat breakfast. Okay? And now some of the signs when you start doing this, right? You wake up, you have a breakfast, you're gonna notice a couple hours later you're hungry. Okay? And this is not to say you're overeating by any means. Your body is regulating correctly now. Your metabolism is effectively burning, and your body's going to start burning more calories by you actually eating these multiple meals throughout the day. It's going to keep your metabolism on fire, okay? So you don't want the metabolism to not be on fire, right? Because then you're not burning calories. Hopefully that makes sense, okay? You want to burn these calories. You want your body to go. You want to be putting healthy snacks into your bodies throughout the day as well. So we have our 3 meals, and we're going to get into it here in a second, and we have 3 snacks, okay? We don't want to be overeating, so we don't want to feel that full feeling after our meals. But at the same time, we don't want to be starving ourselves. So we don't want to skip these meals. We want to eat small meals throughout the day. Keep something next to you. Keep healthy snacks next to you. Low in sugars, low in salts. Like I said, we're going to get into that as we go further. But that's basically how you guys want to start setting up your diet. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a huge breakthrough when you start eating multiple meals throughout the day. You're going to start seeing not only a weight decrease and a fat decrease, but you're also going to see that your energy and your drive starts to pick up more because you have more energy in your body. Your metabolism's on fire all day, so your body's just cranking out. You can do more things. It's an awesome state to also put your body in, and it's moving you guys forward. So speaking of moving forward, let's move forward. Sugars and salts. I knew this slide was coming up. So sugars and salts, they're needed, right? We have them in our fruits, and we have salts and various things and whatnot. We need salts, we need sugars in our diet, but the problem is the excess amounts of sugars and salts that we have provided to us in today's economy, isn't it not? Today's economy, today's world. Okay? The healthy sodium level per day is about 1,500 milligrams. The average American consumes over 4,500 milligrams without even noticing. So where does this come into play? How is this even possible? People are like, yeah, right, I do not. Have you ever looked at the back? Have you ever looked at the sodium in canned foods and maybe like the sweeteners and stuff you use for your coffee, or the bacon you use in the mornings, or the salts you use at night, and the stuff you season your foods with? Or what about when you go out to eat? It's worse when you go out to eat and you don't even notice it, right? You notice the calories because everything is popped up. Boom! Oh, it's only 200 calories. Get it? Oh, it's 1,500 milligrams of sodium in that one little thing. You have your entire day's worth of sodium in one little meal. And this is where diet and stuff begins to become a problem, right? This is where, diseases and things start to create in your body. So this is what we really want to focus on, guys. We want to get your sugars and your salts under control. I don't want to bring up any health experiences of my family because, again, I don't like to think negative, but I like to use it as an experience. And multiple family members, as my family, like I said, where everybody in my family is the casual breakfast. Breakfast is cereal or bacon and eggs, and lunch is gonna be like a burger, and dinner is gonna be this huge feast with some ice cream and some alcohol or something at the end of it, right? But I'd say 6 out of 10 of all my family members have been warned from the doctors and the hospitals about their health issues, and all of it comes back to what they're eating. And the sad thing is, most people, even though they're told they'll go to the store, they'll make a small amount of changes, right? They'll look at the branding of the product and what the label says. Not so much the facts label on the back, but more as what it says in the front of the can. Natural. Natural, we're going to get it, right? It says natural. Okay? Organic, we're going to get it. And they underestimate where it's at. They don't really see where it's coming from. They don't understand it, right? So what I want to do as we move forward, and I want to touch base with this now so you guys have that drive to get to that progress stage as well. I actually am going to break down, some of the things as we're at Publix or as we're at the store, and even when we're cooking the foods, I want to show you guys, kind of how I season foods and some other healthy alternatives that are going to get you away from salts and these massive amounts of sugars, guys. We got to get you away from it. I don't want, there's so many people dying each year from cancers and diabetes and all these crazy diseases out there now that I just want everyone to be healthy. I want everyone to see a change in their body and not be affected by, unfortunately, what our world has come to as far as, who is providing the foods and whatnot for this country. So let's take action on it. Let's acknowledge it and let's understand it so we can make progress, okay? And leading up to this right here, this is the big one, right? Understanding protein. What do you think about when you say protein shakes? Most people think, oh, I'm going to bulk up. I don't want to get big. I don't need protein because I don't want to get huge, right? But people don't see what protein really does for your body. They don't understand that protein helps you recover and increase the lean muscle mass, Like your goal is. Your goal is to increase lean muscle mass and decrease body fat, okay? Having protein to help you recover and increase your lean muscle mass is just going to help you burn more calories. Not to mention, as a snack, as long as it's low in sugars, a protein shake is an awesome source of meal, right? It's a good meal replacement if you're, really trying to crunch weight, if you're trying to, stay the same weight, and like I said, just fluctuate your lean muscle up and your body fat down. Using the protein as an added snack is even awesome. They're good, they're low in sugar, they're low in calories, they have the high protein levels, and it's amazing for shredding. So don't be fooled with, some of the 20-year ago statements of protein. You have to have 400 scoops of protein a day to get, you're going to get massively swole when you start doing protein. Get away from that. And same thing, I want you to start, implementing them. Maybe, like I said, if you're really trying to lose a lot of weight, 20, 30 pounds, let's replace your breakfast with a protein shake, okay? Or replace dinner with a protein shake. And see if it doesn't change the scale. And it also help in your recovery. So try that out, guys. Test it in there. Let's move forward. Let's take a look at carbs. So carbs equal energy or fat. So we have good carbs and we have bad carbs. So some good carbs may come from some vegetables, maybe like a sweet potato, oatmeal. Some examples of some bad carbs could be, pastas, breads, French fries, things like that. They're just packed in carbs and sugars and everything else. So we really want to understand carbs, though, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'm a zero carb person. I don't carb. I don't have no carbs in me. It's carb free, dude. And I think it's crazy because you do have to have carbs in your system. And you guys will notice that anyone in this room that is watching this video right now, you've noticed a point when you're either at the gym or at work or whatever where your energy levels are low and whatnot. And most of these are because, you don't have the right carbs in your system, or you're, overloaded on the wrong carbs, right? Or you don't have any carbs in your system. So what we want to do is start implementing healthy carbs, not so much after 4 p.m. for those of you guys who are looking to shred, but we want to keep the carbs in our body, the healthy carbs, to keep us moving, keep that energy flow going. So moving forward, carbs can also even help us burn the fat, right? Or they can help us keep us fat. They can do both, right? We understand this, okay? But it doesn't mean just because it can keep us fat or it can help us burn fat and create more energy. Some of you guys, you don't understand the carbs, so you say, guess what? I'm not going to be carb free. You heard carbs are bad, you carb free, right? But you need to understand that good carbs are energy, and they will allow you to get further in your workouts and will allow you that extra energy to get through these long days and whatever. So the difference is in what carbs you're eating, obviously. Okay? So, like I said before, I would recommend eating carbs from oatmeal, gluten-free wraps, sweet potatoes, and vegetables. And cut your carbs after 4 p.m. Like I just said again, if you're trying to shred, you need to cut your carbs after 4 p.m. Okay? Don't be adding pastas and all these other crazy pizzas and breads to your dinner to celebrate the day, right? Because this holds you back. You want to stay away from everything that's going to hold you back. So let's move forward a little bit more. Um, keep going. Next step is cleaning up the kitchen and your new grocery list. So, if we don't clean up the kitchen, we don't get this thing rocking, then we're most likely not going to move forward, right? If you're watching this on YouTube or something right now, or if you're, you're watching on your phone and whatnot, whatever, however you're watching this right now, go to your kitchen and look at what you have in your kitchen. Most of you have plenty of junk foods in there. I would grab them all right now and throw them out of your kitchen. Because having them in there is going to give you the ability to eat them at a later time when you want to move into your subconscious mind and you want to say, it's okay to eat. It's just a cheat. I'll have one cheat a week. Whatever. Okay? Turns into 2 cheats a week. Turns into 3. I'll have one cheat a night and I'll do an extra burpee. Come on. Stop being dumb. Just get everything out of the kitchen. So, let's clean out the house before you make your way to the grocery store. And using the list that I'm going to give you and the video that I'm going to provide with you guys on how to actually get your kitchen cleaned up, we're going to rock this thing and get you guys on the right track to getting everything going. So stay tuned, guys. I'm going to move right in to the video here shortly. But that'll be into the video that I'm going to go into here shortly. And I'll attach it to the end of this video, or I should just email it to you guys. And that video is basically me, like I said before, going into Publix with the grocery list that I'm going to give you guys. I'll go ahead and send that to your email as well. And just using it to actually get your meals, talking about seasonings a little bit and, staying away from salt, and then how to prep your foods and whatever for the whole week, right? Because that's going to be easier to get you guys going by prepping the meals, once in the beginning of the week, once in the middle of the week. That way you ensure you have the healthy meals there. You're not skipping meals. You're not going to go out to eat if you have your meals with you. You don't need to go out to eat, right? And it'll probably bring your income up if you don't have to go out of the office and deal with all the traffic and all this crazy stuff. You're spending less on your meals. You're eating healthier. Focus on your work. Just everything is progressive, right, guys? So let's move forward. Mindset for the diet. We've went over this. Let's keep going over this, okay? I eat clean because I choose to live a healthy life. I eat clean because I choose to live a healthy life. And I eat clean because I choose to live a healthy life. Repeat it. If you don't repeat it, you're not going to eat clean because you choose to live a healthy life. I promise you. You have to repeat it. You need to instill that in your brain. Just pause me for a second and just say that over and over and over until you say it 10 times. And then you're going to be in state. Okay? Because the grocery list that we're going to be going into is not going to be the normal foods that you're eating. I almost guarantee, especially for some of you. I know a lot of people were totally shocked at what they have really been eating, because I look at not only the good stuff, I also pinpoint some of the awesome stuff that is just filled with things that you wouldn't think of. All the bad things, right? So, moving forward, why we have cravings and how to shut them down. So, without buying all the junk food, you're not going to have these cravings. However, everyone's still going to have these cravings. So, let's try to figure it out. So everyone's going to have these cravings at night, and the worst part is we all give in, right? I do it. I do it so much. I'm like, it's so easy for me to justify, right? Because I'm a personal trainer. I'm in the gym. I'm, hitting the gym every day, and then night comes around and I'm watching a movie, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go grab some. I just want to munch on some. I'm like bored. I want to eat. Bored. I go. I open the fridge or I open the pantry, and there's just some Oreos there. There's ice cream or something sitting there that I'm just like, oh, I got it. And the minute I see it, I'm like, instantly in my mind, I'm like justifying, huh, I'm fine. I got this. This is cool. This is no problem. I just burn it off tomorrow, right? What happens when you do that? We bring it back again, like how we were talking about before, how when you step on the scale, okay? So let's talk about it in this term. Let's say you only do that once or twice a week. Times 4 weeks, times 12. How many times are you guys doing over the year? How many extra calories are you adding to your body? How many other pounds of fat and sugars and all the bad stuff are you adding in these cheating days? Okay? And I'm not telling you to don't fight or to fight your cravings and never, crave anything again, because that's going to be impossible, right? So we don't fight the cravings. We actually invent new cravings. Healthy alternatives, right? We have things set up in our kitchen and, snacks that are already there waiting on us that are healthy alternatives, but are also taste awesome, right? So that's really what we want to do. We just invent new healthy alternatives. It's not a big deal. I don't need to eat Oreos. If there was a healthy alternative that tasted like an Oreo, I would eat it over an Oreo, right? Would you? Of course. The only reason you don't know about healthy alternatives because you never did anything like this course before. No one's ever, really showed you, but that's why I'm here. I'm going to help you. We're going to go through everything. I'm going to show you some healthy alternatives, healthy snacks, how I do my shakes, how to do your shakes if you're trying to lose weight, all that. We're going to go into it. So don't worry about it. I want you to focus on progress, right? Progress. I'm going to just keep saying it until you just, every day you're like, just progress, just progress, just progress. Because when you say it 90 days over, you say it 10 times a day and you say it for 90 days, that's a lot of saying it, right? And by then you have it instilled in your brain. You've already changed, and we've got that temptation out, right? So that's another thing we do. We get the temptation out of the house with the bad snacks, right? And we bring in the good snacks. Okay, moving forward. Motivation and envisioning the progress. So I've been saying progress, and you guys are probably tired of me saying progress by now, but everything over this next 90 days is going to be you progressing over and over and over. And I promise I'll stop saying it for a couple minutes. So, motivation and envisioning the P word. Motivation starts when you start. Okay? Motivation hangs around when you hang around the right people. Follow me on Twitter. So, here we go, guys. I want you guys to go ahead and take your before picture if you don't already have a before picture. If you want to use a before picture that's a couple weeks old, you don't want to take one now, that's cool. I want you to get a before picture. I want you to have something in 90 days that you look at. I want you to take your before picture now, and I want you to set it on a piece of paper. If you have a stapler or a piece of tape, tape it to that piece of paper would be best. And then I want you to put another box right next to your before picture. It's almost like where your after picture is going to go. You're outlining where you're going to staple your after picture to. And then I want you to write after in that box, and I want you to post that right in front of your scale or right in front of your wall, or on your door or something, wherever you're going to see it every single day. That way you just look at that blank space. You look at that after picture that you're going to put there. And it just helps you drive yourself a little bit more, right? You see that? It's almost like, the business people, they put pictures of their walls of destinations they want to go to, right? Same thing. It's just motivation, okay? You see your old picture? What happens? What happens after a couple weeks when you start to change? You start to look better than your old picture. Ooh, I can't wait to see my 90-day after picture if I'm already looking better. So it's always motivation, okay? And then we go down and we talk to how do you want your after picture to look? So below where it says after picture, I want you to go ahead and put your goals in there. How do you want to look in this after picture? What would this after picture be like? What would the perfect after picture of you be like? Put it in there. Write it down. Okay? And most importantly, below that, and saying to yourself, make sure you write this down everywhere. What are you going to do to make it reality? Are you going to take a step action? Are you going to take the action forward? You're going to stop? You're going to give up on yourself? No, you're not. You've came so far that you're already here. You already understand everything now. Okay? Everything else is going to be easy for you because you've already took the time to educate yourself on it. Okay? You do what most people don't do. Most people go to the gym, right? They get their personal trainer. They work out 3 days a week. They leave the gym. Okay, they're spending. Let me throw in there. They spend $600 on a personal trainer for a month, right? Okay, they go. They spend $600. They go. They leave the gym, and they don't know all this stuff. They don't know how to stay progressive, or they don't know how to stay in that mindset, right? Their trainer's not around them all the time, and they start to fall off. You already know everything now. You already know all the things, and I encourage you that if you know somebody who has a trainer, maybe they've been with a trainer for a while and they're falling off, I'm telling you, if they're still not making the results, you have people around you that want to make the change that you really want to help, get this video to them. I'm telling you, it will change them. It will help them make change. Once they see the progress, like you've already seen it, you've already made a huge leap forward. Okay? You've made the next 90 days that much more easier because you already know what you have to do when you're outside of the gym, right? And that's a lot of hours that you're outside of the gym. You're only in the gym 3 to 5 to 6 hours a week, right? If you're crazy about the gym, 10 hours a week, whatever. There's still another 100 and some hours where you're outside of the gym that you have to know this stuff, and you want to know these other breakthrough areas and what to do with your diet. Share it with people. Let's help people. Let's get everyone going the same way. Surround yourself with the people, like I said up there, who are motivated, who want to make success, who want to change, who want to progress. Let's move forward. Gym time. One day you should be able to do this without me. One day you should be able to do this without your trainer. Okay? Now I have people, I want to just go ahead and say this for some of you guys who are more fit, that say I have a trainer just because it helps me get a push. That's awesome. I have a trainer too. Even though I'm a trainer, I still have a trainer that pushes me, right? Because I like to have that push too. Not saying you not to do that, but one day I want you to be able to take control, right? What if you move to like another country or something? You move to like, you buy your own island. Okay, I guess at that point you can hire a trainer, right? But you get what I'm saying. You move into a new town or something, you don't really have people to work out with. The trainers there are not really as good trainers as you had back home, and you just want to do it on your own, but now you know really what to do, right? So that's where we want to get you guys. And like I said, we have the diet video coming up, and I have another set of videos that is basically going to be going into mastering the basics and working out, right? And these videos are basically going to be me walking you guys through the gym, going over, workouts that you have to do, like that are just going to be in everything. They're going to be in all workouts, like squats, lunges, running on the treadmills, working your chest, working your arms, working your abs, lower back problems, knee problems, all that we're going to go into. But once you really master the basics, it's just like this. You've already mastered the basics in your mindset, right? You already got it. You're already on your road to success. You're going to probably lose 20, 30 pounds in this month, right? And it's going to be the same way at the gym. Okay, we're going to get through a few of those personal training workouts where, I just walk you guys through it. I help you guys, get your workouts on. And once you master the basics, again, that's the biggest breakthrough in the world. Once you master those basics, once you get everything down packed, you get your technique going, it's just progress from there. And then the same thing is learning to eat healthy. You need this not just for yourself either, but to pass on to both your family, your friends, your children when you have children. Some of you who are, don't have children, you're going to want to pass this stuff on, right? Maybe you have family members that are older that really don't know. They really have no idea what they should be doing to get themselves in better shape. They want to look healthy, but how would they ever get healthy if they don't know? And in this world, everything is so complicated. Everything is made to be so complicated, so you have to go be dependent on a trainer and spend money and all this crazy stuff, right? And again, I'm not saying anything about trainers because I am a trainer, but I'm telling you guys the reality of the situation. So you need to know this stuff. You need to be able to do it on your own. Okay, moving forward. I have some questions here that have been sent to me for those of you who are watching this live as I put it out and whatnot, and even some top questions that I've had through some clients over the years that I want to answer that could probably help you as well. Top questions is, why do we do cardio after workouts? Okay, we do cardio after workouts because after a workout is when your body is in that calorie burning state, right? You're already burning calories, your heart rate's already there, you're already in the mode. So what we do is what I typically do is get you to your 15-minute, your 30-minute or your hour workout, whatever you do with your workout. And then after, I try to get you guys to do 15 to 30 minutes of cardio, and I do this with all my clients as well, just to help burn that extra fat areas. I know you guys want to get rid of that fat that's along your belly line, that lower ab area. It's just like a little pouch there. You need your cardio after your workouts, right? You need to be eating clean, okay? So moving on, what should I eat before and after a workout, okay? If you're finding yourself cramping up, or maybe you find yourself getting sick, or maybe you find yourself not having enough energy, there's 3 different types of things that you could be feeling in there. So for those of you who are cramping up during workouts, you don't like to eat a lot, but you just want to eat something small and keep you going, I suggest like a banana, maybe a bottle of water before. Just a banana with potassium will help you from cramping up. It has some sort of carbs in there for you guys as well, so to help you with the workout. And then if you're if you're doing, like I said, I'm not going to do, this course is not meant really for the power lifter people or people who are trying to get real bulk or anything crazy. But for those of you who are watching this that are I guess more fit or been doing it a while or whatever, and you want to eat to be able to work out for a sustained amount of time, then I suggest doing maybe like a sweet potato or some type of full carb, maybe some oatmeal or something. You can cut up a banana, throw it in your oatmeal, and something like this about 45 minutes to an hour before. They also have some stuff out there. I know I don't like to recommend a bunch of supplements, but they have it's like a BCAA amino acid stuff that you can actually, it's a slow release that you sip on prior to your workout about 5 minutes, and you sip it throughout your workout to after your workout before you have your shake. And that's pretty good to keep you going through your workout. And now after the workout, I tell you to immediately put in either a protein bar or a protein shake. That way your body automatically, will absorb it, it'll start recovering. You get the protein in there, you get your amino acids in there, and that's pretty much it. You can have your meal a few hours later. If you work out at night, maybe a shake and then your light dinner. Maybe dinner should be your lightest meal for those of you who are working out at night. So yeah, gear it like that. And then why can't I lose weight? Okay, I think if you watch this entire thing, you can lose weight. Okay, you've been not losing weight because of the habits, because of your decisions. Okay, it's not really a big deal, right? I mean, it's a big deal. We're gonna make progress with it, but dude, right now, I know, everyone around you knows, and it's true. You can make massive change in your life. Okay, you can take control of this thing and change your body to where you never, ever, ever even thought possible. You have the ability to it, and all you have to do is make that shift. Okay, same thing. Other question goes to backwards. Why can't I gain weight? For those of you who are trying to do powerlifting or whatever, you're trying to gain weight, or you're smaller, and your goal is to put on some weight. Dude, it's the same thing. Bad habits play the same role. Bad foods, you don't eat bad foods that are high in calories to gain weight. Okay, you eat the right foods and you just double up. Okay, you add 2 or 3 scoops to your protein shake. You add an extra serving of chicken. Add a second sweet potato, right? Pretty simple, guys. And how many days a week should I work out? Okay, I recommend anywhere from 3 to 4 days to 5 days a week when you're first starting out. And make sure you're committing at least 1 day on a weekend. If you commit a day on a weekend, it'll really break through. Okay, you will really make a breakthrough, because that's one less day in the weekend that you have to give yourself, or have to give yourself, an excuse to make, you know, a bad decision with your plans or something. And going to the gym will also most likely, in most cases, make your weekend more active, right? It'll, you know, you'll leave the gym with energy. You'll leave the gym, you'll go home, you'll eat something clean, and you'll be in that state. It'll just prolong through the weekend. So I always say to, you know, make sure you commit to a weekend workout when you're first starting out, especially through these 90 days. Huge breakthrough. Um, Going down more, how do I get motivated to go to the gym? This video, watch all my videos. Like I said, mind state. Say it over 10 times. Go back on this video and watch it. Just say it over, okay? I am the result, okay? I can change. I am in control. Keep saying it. You will get it. You have the motivation. You already have the motivation within you. Write your goals. See your goals. You want to get to your goals this month, you're motivated to make progress, okay? That's how you stay motivated. Moving forward, recovery and supplements. So if you're, you know, super sore, you know, maybe you go to the store and they tell you to get this and that and blah, 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 blah. You know, buy this, buy that. This is the best stuff. This is super stuff. Most of the stuff in the stores is bullshit. And I'll go ahead and just tell you that now. You don't need all these crazy supplements to help you lose weight. A good, healthy protein with low sugar in it. You know, maybe some BCAAs, some glutamine, you know, amino acids that help you recover are needed. If you don't eat vegetables, maybe the fruit and vegetable mix is not too bad. For those of you who are, you know, really into this, you really want to really make like a change or whatever, and I guess you want to step into the supplements a little bit more for weight loss, I'll recommend like a CLA product. CLA. I don't have it here. But yeah, you can try that, guys. That'll help you guys, you know, lose some weight quicker too. But don't get dependent on supplements, okay? The protein shakes and the amino acids, you know, the fruit and vegetable mix, it's not bad. But let's not get too dependent. You don't really need supplements to make the breakthroughs. The breakthroughs happen. You know how the breakthroughs happen. We just went over every way the breakthroughs happen. Every way you push forward, you know. At this point, anytime you make a mistake, you're going to know it. I want you to know. I want you to know every time you make a mistake, from now on, you're going to be like, oh, I shouldn't do that. Oh, let's do it this way. Oh, let's do it that way. And that's perfect. That's what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to be catching my mistakes. I would love it if I had a course and the clients were calling me out and, you know, adding things that help them in there, you know, giving me your feedback. That's awesome. I want you guys to be rock stars in the gym, okay? I'm not perfect at the gym either, but I want you guys to be able to take this and become rock stars in it. So don't get dependent on supplements. You don't need it. You know, it's ridiculous, some of the stuff that's in there. So, unless the doctor, of course, tells you, you know. Made it this far. It wasn't that difficult. And look at the breakthrough you made. You were literally so far ahead of most people. Most people just take that second. They skip this step, okay? They skip that step and learn. It's kind of like a 3-step process, right? You have to kind of educate yourself. Then you have to develop some type of plan, and then you have to take action on it, right? And then you obviously have to repeat that, right, to make results and, you know, see change, okay? But a lot of people try to skip past this information step where they, you know, have to educate themselves, right? And they try to jump right into developing, you know, plan and fitness. A lot of them even skip the plan, right? They don't deal with the diet and stuff. They just say, let me grab a personal trainer. They try to skip. You can't skip, right? You've already developed this education. You already got that. You already understand the importance now of understanding your diet, understanding the workouts and whatnot. And that's going to even come even better and handy for you guys as we move into this next video. As this next video is going to be all on your fitness, as well as what to do in the gym, as well as we're going to be moving into your diet and actually grocery shopping, picking out foods, finding healthy alternatives, and talking about prepping your foods to ensure that you're always on the right track, right? Because we want you guys always on the right track and always progressing, guys. Stay tuned. Here we go. So go ahead right now and just put your name and email in the box so I can send you guys over your workouts that we're about to go over. That way you guys have them handy, as well as the virtual personal training session with me, going over everything you must be doing in the gym and what everything you need to know in the gym. See you guys soon.